My father smirked and told everyone I'd never match my brother's success. I stood up and replied, fine, let him handle the mortgage then. I'm cutting off the payments. My mother's expression froze. What payments? I've always been the overlooked son in a family obsessed with image and status. While my parents hosted elaborate celebrations for every milestone my brother achieved, my accomplishments were footnotes in conversations quickly redirected to him. I'm Alex, 31 years old, a systems analyst who lives quietly, saves carefully, and never demanded recognition. My brother's framed degrees lined the hallway, while my certifications stayed in a folder. When people asked my parents about their children, they'd spend 15 minutes praising one son and barely remember to mention they had another. For 3 decades, I accepted my role as the supporting character in their story, believing that's what family loyalty meant. My brother Ethan was their masterpiece. He attended an Ivy League school, married into a wealthy family, and landed a position at a prestigious investment firm. His life looked perfect from the outside. The right zip code, the right car, the right friends at the right clubs. My parents paraded his success at every opportunity, treating him like proof of their superior parenting. What they conveniently ignored was that Ethan's glamorous life was built entirely on debt. His impressive salary evaporated into student loans that would take decades to pay off, a mortgage on a house that stretched him beyond his means, and a lifestyle engineered to impress colleagues he competed with daily. But in our family, perception mattered more than reality, and Ethan excelled at perception. I chose a different path entirely. After graduating from a state university with no debt, I built a career in IT infrastructure, lived in a modest townhouse I paid off early, and invested aggressively in index funds and rental properties. I didn't broadcast my financial situation because I didn't need external validation. My parents assumed I was barely scraping by because I didn't perform well the way Ethan did. They had no idea that 7 years ago, when Dad's consulting business failed and they faced losing their home, I was the one who stepped in. Mom had called me crying, desperate, and ashamed. I quietly started paying their mortgage, $2, $800 monthly, and covered their property taxes and insurance. I made it look like an anonymous investor had bought a stake in Dad's recovered business. They never questioned it because they never thought I had that kind of money. The financial reality behind my family's polished exterior was a house of cards. My parents maintained their country club membership and luxury cars through creative financing and mounting credit card debt. Ethan's wife spent money they didn't have on private tutors and designer everything for their kids. Meanwhile, my $2,800 monthly payment kept my parents housed, and they attributed their stability to Dad's supposed business comeback. I never told anyone because I knew the truth would wound their pride and give Ethan ammunition to mock me for playing savior. 3 Sundays ago, we gathered for dinner to celebrate Ethan's latest promotion, a title upgrade with minimal salary increase that he'd already spent in his head. My parents raised their glasses in toast after toast. Then Dad stood up, slightly drunk, and surveyed the table. Ethan makes us so proud every single day, he said, then turned to me with a smirk. Alex, you'll never match your brother's success, but I suppose someone has to be average in every family. The table laughed. Ethan grinned. My mother nodded along. I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor. Fine, I said calmly. Let him handle the mortgage then. I'm cutting off the payments. The laughter died instantly. My mother's expression froze. What payments? She whispered. I pulled out my phone and showed them 7 years of bank transfers. $235,200 that kept their home from foreclosure, while they compared me unfavorably to my brother at every opportunity. My father's face drained of color. Ethan looked genuinely confused, then angry that I'd hidden this because if he'd known, he couldn't have maintained his superiority. You've been paying our mortgage, Mom stammered. While we said those things, I grabbed my coat. Yes, while you said those things, while you treated me like I was failing at life, while the son you worship couldn't help you even if he wanted to because he's drowning in his own debt. I canceled the payment that night. Within 3 weeks, my parents called in a panic facing foreclosure. Ethan couldn't help. He barely covered his own bills. They begged me to reconsider. I didn't. They lost the house within 6 months and downsized to a small rental. Ethan's resentment toward me grew because suddenly he was expected to help and couldn't. Meanwhile, I used that $2,800 monthly to expand my rental property portfolio. Today, I own 6 properties, generating passive income that exceeds my salary. My parents occasionally reach out, suddenly interested in my life now that they need me. I keep those conversations brief. I learned that some people only see your value when they can't exploit it anymore. The son they called average built the stability they only pretended to have. Sometimes walking away from people who diminish you is the only way to grow into who you're meant to be.